warm-ups and stretching aren't that big of a deal.
Well, I would definitely, if we're going into the old myth category, that would be a false statement. As we get older, warm-ups and stretching are even more of a bigger deal. I will fall into this category once in a while where, hey, I'm just like everybody else. I'm in a hurry. I got stuff to do. I got a lot of wood going on, so I got to take care of it. And so I probably won't stretch, and I'll just get into the workout. That's not always a good thing. Thankfully, I've been very fortunate where I pretty rarely will pull a muscle or anything like that. So I've been lucky that way. But, the warm-up and the stretching is very important. And I think that, when we're getting rolling, we're going to spend, a good 5 minutes of going through some stretches, start out with some static stuff. But even though when we do static stuff, it's not we're not holding your stretch for 30 to 45 seconds. So I would call a lot of our stretches an active, static, active, dynamic type stretch. And then we will crank it up a little bit towards the end with trying to get the blood flowing a little bit more, get that heart rate up before you get into that cardio, and then you're ready to go.
Now, this could fall under some poor fitness advice, but I'm actually very curious about this when it comes to static versus dynamic stretching, because I've heard of both. What I gathered was dynamic stretching is what you want to do when you're starting to ramp up. Yeah. Static is ramping down.
Yeah.
Is that necessarily the case, or is it, like you said, static stretching can be done before as well?
Well, and like I said, we don't do a true static stretch. All right, well, if we talk about some of the research, actually my master's thesis was really looking at the effects of PNF stretching and dynamic stretching and its effects on vertical jump. And what we found was there was no effect on the vertical jump performance in male or female. We had 65 subjects go through it. They were all athletes at NDSU. This was back in 2005, and it's actually pretty cool going through and reading research and literature, and you see your research actually in the PubMed journals. But with that being said, the PNF stretching wasn't a true static stretch. Mm-hmm. It's more of an active type movement, so that really didn't surprise me a whole lot. I do like to utilize the static stretching after, where we're going to hold that position for at least 30 seconds. And it could be as long as 45 or a minute. Typically, I'll do 30 and go through a number of different variations of that. It just helps, you're right, it helps cool down, but your muscles are warm and they're pliable. So that is the best time to do that static stretch. Now, the challenge is actually getting your clients to do it. Mm-hmm. Because for the most part, it's like, hey, I'm done with the workout. I got to get going. Mm-hmm. And that makes it hard.
Now, going back to your 2005.
That's a long time. That's 20 years ago already. Holy.
Did you use AI to construct your thesis?
I did not use AI.
Oh, okay.
I did not.
Didn't know if it was a thing back in the day.
Yeah, there was no AI in 2005.
When it comes to ramping up for a big workout, how much do you want to focus on the muscle groups that you're specifically targeting compared to, like, let's say it's an upper body day? How much do you want to warm up when it comes to just anything in regards to your lower body? Like, how important is that?
Well, I think that you want to spend, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. Now, a lot of times what we'll do is we will warm up and we'll do our cardio first. Mm-hmm. So then now we've got that heart rate pumping, we got the blood pumping, the muscles are plenty warm. And then when we get over to the strength side, we don't need to spend as much time with a warm-up progression per se as far as the weight side of it. For example, today I did the lifting first. I needed to go a little earlier. It was kind of between groups. And I spent about 5 minutes doing some rotator cuff warm-ups. Mm-hmm. Shoulders are getting a little rickety per se. They're not moving as well, so I wanted to work on firing up the rotator cuff. And then I probably spent 4 to 5 sets of lighter weights, slowly ramping up before I have my first working set. It just takes a little bit longer. It takes a little longer as we get older. I didn't do that cardio warm-up before, so I wasn't, sweating or anything. I was going into it pretty cold, but doing that, feel pretty darn strong. So I would say you need to spend, 5 to 8, even upwards of 10 minutes of slowly ramping up before you hit that first working set.
Going back to when you said your shoulders maybe not feeling or moving as well, Mine aren't doing the best today.
Oh, what happened?
So I had my dad, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He constructed a lift for me yesterday, and I did this lift for my fitness class where we did a group workout at the wellness center, and we kind of almost tested like how well does working in a group translate to fitness. And it was a treacherous upper body lift, to say the least, especially not having lifted in a while. I mean, even my quads and hamstrings, even from that one little superset of reverse lunges and RDLs,
Yeah.
even those got me a little sore. So it was good to get back in the weight room. And speaking of lifting, I have a little protein drink today.
Ah.
So I went with the Nuri strawberry milkshake, which
do you
was
think?
something you recommended, and I actually really enjoy it. Compared to like some of the other protein drinks that I've had in the past, you don't necessarily notice the protein as much. The flavor's not as strong, but I'd say it's really good, honestly.
That's interesting. I had a chocolate one. I thought it was fine. It was okay. I like the pure protein a little better, but my favorite is the dynamic whey protein from Nutridyne. I really like that.
It almost tastes milk, like it's like a strawberry milk to me, which in the past I haven't really liked strawberry
I was
milk,
gonna say you didn't really care for that when you were a kid.
but I actually really enjoy that. I like the subtleness of it.
So anyway, you're a little sore, is what you're saying.
I am very much sore.
So in other words, next it'd be a good day to do a little warm up. You may need more than 5 to 10 minutes. You might need 15 minutes to
Yeah.
warm up.